Hello and welcome to another edition of TSL Talk. It's the penultimate round of the season, round 17, and there's lots of final spots up for grabs. Adam Smith, thanks very much for joining us once again.
Good to be here, as always.
And you've been to a press conference this morning with Lauderdale coach Darren Winter and Clarence coach Brett Gapin, and Darren wasn't very charitable towards North Hobart Oval.
No, look, both coaches were asked sort of about the state of it at the moment, and Darren offered his opinion. We asked Budgie first, but yeah, he gave a bit of a slap and pretty much said that it wasn't up to senior statewide football. Said it was a bit of a disgrace, and that the last game next week between North Hobart and Clarence should in fact be moved to Belrive Oval.
If it holds up the way it is at the moment, it would be a disgrace if they played here. We played here a couple of weeks ago and it was disgraceful football. Have it on TV and people watching the state of the ground at the moment, nowhere near good enough. So I'd imagine that the league would have to change it to Belrive because it's not suitable to play senior statewide football on the ground at the moment.
It just goes to show that Hobart City Council do really need to put some money into these venues if they're going to be viable going forward, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they played out there 2 weeks ago in an absolute mud heap, and again, he touched on that and said it was a TV game, and it's not a real good spectacle for the league. I had a brief chat to Sean Young, the general manager, and he said that at this stage they wouldn't look at moving the game. If more bad weather comes, maybe they would, but it's not in good nick at the moment, and hopefully it holds up.
There is a bit of a precedent there. It was a few years ago, the first year of the State League, where I think it was a Devonport-Clarence final was originally scheduled for North Hobart Oval, but that was moved to Belrive.
Yeah, it was. Obviously that helped out Clarence on their way to the flag, and I think Lauderdale have actually had a couple of games moved as well. I think they played Launceston, in fact, a couple of years ago at Belrive Oval because their ground wasn't up to scratch. So, you can't help it. We live in Tassie. It's a winter sport. We do get bad weather, but as you said, things need to be done to protect these grounds as much as possible.
And it's a massive game, Clarence Lauderdale at the moment. Lauderdale, if they can pull off an upset win, they could pretty much sell up a final spot.
Yeah, you'd think so. It's going to be a tough ask, Anytime you play Clarence, it always is. But they're there. They've got a pretty good side on paper from looking at a couple of ins, and it almost comes down, even if they don't win, if they can limit the damage with a loss, it'll set them up going to the last round.
And Clarence get Mitch Williamson and Brendan Savage back, and Adam Green. They're almost back to full strength now.
Yeah, well, Gapin touched on it today. I think Tom Bowcom's the only one missing from probably their best 22, and as always, there's going to be some unlucky guys, I think, from this Clarence side that are going to miss out when the finals roll around.
Another big game up at Aurora Stadium, North Launceston at home to Glenorchy.
Yes, this is another one that shapes the bottom half of the top five. If North Launceston lose, they're gone. They won't make it, and Glenorchy need to keep winning to ensure they make it and potentially wrap up a home final as well if they can finish fourth.
North Lonnie need not only to win, but to win by a lot.
Yeah, their percentage is pretty bad at the moment. They do have an easy game, I think, in the last one, but you can't see them make it. I mean, they're 7-8% behind the teams at the moment, if not more. So they'll need some results to fall their favour, and you'd think they'd have to thump Glenorchy if they're a chance.
And there's some big ins for Glenorchy. They're coming off 2 wins under new coach Kim Exel, and they've brought in David Joseph, David Cameron, John Bowring, and Ben Brown.
Yeah, look, anytime you can bring back Jake Cox and Johnny Bowring is always handy, and Joseph's an interesting one, isn't he? I think he had a pretty good Mariners campaign, and be good to see what he can produce.
Yeah, well, he's actually been invited to the AFL Draft Combine. It shows how well he's going. He's sort of an inside midfielder, but he is renowned for his left foot kick and precise kick. And that's really what AFL clubs are looking for these days.
Yeah, they are. They're running through the Nathan Buckley test, I think, as we speak with the potential draftees. So you need the precision skills these days, and by all reports he's got it. And hopefully he can have a good finals campaign should Glenorchy make it to enhance his chances.
And the Coastal Derby up at West Park, Burnie and Devonport. Burnie can really pretty much sell off third spot with it, what should be a regulation win over Devonport.
Yeah, you'd think so. They squandered their chances against Launceston last week. A few queries still out on them whether they've got the leg speed to match the top two, but you'd imagine they'll touch up Devonport.
Our favourite full forward, Brian Finch, needs only 5 for 100 when Launceston take on South Lonnie on Sunday.
Yeah, you'd imagine he'll kick those. He's been in stellar form, and it was interesting to see his report during the week that he wants to be considered in light of the older guys rather than be standalone. So he's got a good appreciation of the history of the league, and hopefully he gets it done and out of the way this weekend.
Really interesting game on Sunday with the TCA, Hobart and North Hobart. Hobart really live for North Hobart, don't they?
Yeah, there've been some classic encounters in the last few years, and they, as you said, they do. Whether there's more on the line given what's been going on the last few weeks with the ground situation and the licence, I don't know. But 2 games to go. Hobart will want to finish off well, but North Hobart really they need to win again to keep their own finals alive, and you'd think they'll get the job done.
Can you go down a limb and pick the last 2 teams in the bottom 5, in the top 5, sorry?
I think it's too tough at this stage. It's going to come down to next week. I think we'll have a clearer understanding at the by Sunday night. Probably at this stage, you'd have to say the teams in there at the moment in Glenorchy and North Hobart have the front running. It'll take something special for them to get knocked out, I think.
Adam, thanks very much for your thoughts. Remember, for all your TSL stories, pick up your copy of the Mercury or go to the Mercury online.